Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. Very good morning to you wherever you are around the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, in Canada, Australia, or right here in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful Wednesday morning here in Southeast Asia. Oh yes. It's been how many days after the transfer window shut? Is it second day, right? Very good. We're now analyzing Chelsea's dealings around the globe. And our last game on Monday. Oh yes. But quickly, before we continue, I want you to look at this picture on your screen. That is Pedro Neto via IG. He's on his Instagram. Pedro Neto on Instagram. Yes, a picture of he himself and our goalkeeper, Felix Jørgensen. What do you make of that picture on your screen? Pedro Neto together with Felix Jørgensen on his IG, Instagram. There are two things that I noticed from this post on Pedro Neto's Instagram page. One, Felix Jørgensen, the write-up. In fact, three, the write-up. Then two, padlock. And then, what does that mean to you? For me personally, I suspect the players are even happy with Felix Jørgensen mounting the goalpost. This tells you that the players are happy to see Felix Jørgensen in the goalpost. All these whiles that Robert Sanchez was making errors and mistakes leading to goals, the players were not happy about the situation. They'll be fighting to score, and even there are some games that if they're unable to score, they should have a clean sheet. Yet, at the end of the game, Chelsea will concede. This padlock, what does it mean? Lock down it's like locking down the position. Lock it down. Lock down the goalpost. Let not be any goal that will come from you. There shouldn't be any leaking. Lock it. Padlock it. The position. Make it your own. I believe that is the message, the signal Pedro Neto is sending out there. Well, in the transfer window, few things happened. And early part of the transfer, we heard about Chelsea, going for a player like Jamie Gittins. Yes. And Garnacho. But along the line, the past week, there has not been any more follow-up, especially on Garnacho. Now we understand, Chelsea have laid a groundwork for summer signings of these two players. Yeah, we understand Chelsea have laid a groundwork down for summer signing of these two. Gittins and Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho, Manchester United, actually, they wanted to let him go. But due to the price and the negotiations, couldn't go well with Chelsea. So in the summer, these two are the players to look out for joining Chelsea to strengthen the squad. Whilst you are watching your football, the Premier League, keep your eye on these two players, Gittins and Garnacho, for the summer. Do you think there will be a good adding or a good addition in the summer or not? We also understand that whilst Tottenham was waiting for Mathys to arrive, Chelsea nearly hijacked the deal. Chelsea wanted to hijack the deal at the airport. Whilst the player was waiting at the airport, Chelsea wanted to hijack the deal from Tottenham. But unfortunately, it was too late. It was too late. And for me, I'm happy because the amount was just too much. 10 million euro for a 5-month loan with all salaries covered. I mean, it's too much for me personally. So I'm happy Chelsea did not even get a player in the first place. For a 19-year-old that has been on the bench, is he 19, 20-year-old? For Bayern Munich, and you're going to be paying 10 million euros for 5 months or 6, yeah. Between now and June. I don't really like the deal. So I'm happy. Anyway, talking about the transfer window, one player, Chelsea player, which I want to emphasize, I want to talk more on this morning, dear friend. I want to understand something here. Joao Felix to AC Milan. For me, it is a loss for Chelsea. Yes. It is a big loss for Chelsea. I've read a lot on social media. People think Chelsea forced Joao Felix out. That is a mindset of people that, that Chelsea actually forced Joao Felix out. I'm here to clarify this for you guys. The player left because he wanted to play and asked the club to let him leave. The player himself left because he wanted to play football and he asked the club to let him leave. And that has been the work of his agent. For the player to make a statement that he wants a home, it simply means that he wants a place he can sit back, relax himself. If he has a family, the family being with him, not to be tossing him around. And he's not getting a playing time. We understand. The player asked to leave. And that is why Chelsea allowed him to go. Because our head coach, Enzo Maresca, all this was speaking about the backup for Cole Palmer. He always insists that Joao Felix is a backup for Cole Palmer. Then, Christopher Nkunku. As a matter of fact, Enzo Maresca rates Joao Felix than Christopher Nkunku. Every time he's talking about them, he always talk about Joao Felix first before Christoph. So the coach, Enzo Maresca, from all indication, wanted a player. But he can only make use of 11 at a time. Maybe he should have been giving the player more opportunity, just like he said it about Christopher Nkunku. But it was difficult. And the system of play, I would have wanted that we try both Cole Palmer, Christopher Nkunku, and Joao Felix in one game. All three of them in one game. That was my wish. So we see, because if you look at it, Jadon Sancho doesn't do much defending, right? Now, Cole Palmer, yes, he does defending quite well. Christopher Nkunku, he doesn't do any defending at all. He doesn't. So, we should have just brought in, Nicola Jackson ahead of them. Joao Felix playing from the left, which he can play very well. Christopher Nkunku playing the number 10, his favorite position, playing that behind the striker role. Cole Palmer that we used in under Pochettino from the right flank. Yes, under Poch, we used Cole Palmer from the right flank, and he was still scoring goals. As a matter of fact, last season he scored more goals from the right flank than this season. So we could have just shifted Cole Palmer to the right, Christopher Nkunku playing behind the 10, which is behind the 8, behind the striker. Yes, behind the striker. That number 10 role, which is his favorite position. Then Joao Felix on the left. Or he could even be in the pocket. The two of them, both Christopher Nkunku and Joao Felix together. Like second 8. Like second 8, right? And we see, because both can explore, the space in the area. They have different abilities. The only challenge is that Christopher Nkunku seems to slow down games. He's not going to become a player that runs with the ball. He slows down games, but he can hold on, dribble, and he can shoot. He has pass accuracy. Once he's in the area, his shot accuracies are almost spot on. So for me, this is one thing that Chelsea could have explored, but we did not. Joao Felix, we understand. We understand Joao Felix will be returning 1st of June. 1st of June. Let me see. Yeah, one thing that is certain, if Felix wanted to continue as Palmer's backup, he would have stayed. Yeah. That I understand that also from that angle. But right now, the news coming out is that Joao Felix stay with AC Milan will expire on the 1st of June. On the 1st of June. Yes. He is to return to Chelsea on the 1st of June. Right now, as we speak, yesterday, on your screen, he already started training with his teammates. That is the former Blue as well, the Christian Pulisic on your screen with Joao Felix. Joao Felix and former Blue, Christian Pulisic training with AC Milan. Just yesterday, he was already spotted at the training ground training. Now, the loan agreement between Chelsea and AC Milan ends on June 1st, which will enable Joao Felix to play for Chelsea at the Summer's Club World Cup. So the Club World Cup coming up in July, it is expected that Joao Felix will be part of that squad for Chelsea. So the loan agreement ends on 1st June. How many months? Now we are in February, right? February, March, April, May, June. 5 months. Or 4 months plus. Let me just put it that way. Joao Felix will be expected back with Chelsea. Now, before I go to some other transfer news, Chelsea announced Mathys Amougou yesterday. And Amougou has it to say. Mathys Amougou, the new signing that Chelsea did, midfielder. This is what Amougou has to say. He said, I'm very happy. It's an honor for me to sign for such a big club like Chelsea. They believe in young players, and the process they have in place to develop us is fantastic. The process they have to develop us is fantastic. Coming from the young midfielder Amougou, or Amougou, whichever you want to pronounce it. Yes, that is a statement from him yesterday during his official inauguration. Mathys Amougou has joined Chelsea from Saint Etienne on 8-year contract. It is an 8-year contract with Chelsea. As it is right now, there you can see him on your screen. There you can see him on your screen. Well, he seems to be a very handsome guy. I pray and hope he will develop into a big player. But remember, he is going to be part of the first team. He will not be in the first 11, but a backup to Romeo Lavia until the summer. And it is expected that during the summer, he will be loaned to Strasbourg, and then Andrew Santos coming back to Chelsea. This is the plan or the brain behind this signing. Ladies and gentlemen, before I go to your shout out quickly, it is your breakfast. Before I go to your shout out, okay. Official confirmed. Alphonso Davies with Bayern Munich signs new deal at Bayern until June 2030. Yes, Alphonso Davies signed a new deal. Finally, from last summer, this guy refused to sign a new deal. He was dragging his feet. In fact, he wanted to go to Real Madrid. At a point, even he was linked to Chelsea. But we all know his mind was made up on Real Madrid. Now we understand he finally put pen to paper, yes, with Bayern to renew his contract. He extended his contract with Bayern until June 2030. Oh, my goodness. He says, I am very happy that I have extended my contract with this great club. I came to FC Bayern when I was 18. Now there is much more to achieve together, says Davies. That is from Davies after putting pen to paper to extend his contract until 2030. Until 2030. All right. I'm about to let you guys go quickly. Manchester City spent more in this January transfer window than all the other 19 clubs in the Premier League. Oh yes. City and Pep Guardiola, they spent more in this January transfer window than all the 19 other clubs that are in the Premier League. Remember, there are 20 clubs in the Premier League. City alone spent more than all the 19 clubs put together in this January transfer window. Pep will come back and say, oh, how do you call it? There are clubs that are spending billions. People don't see when Pep Guardiola is spending. When Man City is spending, people don't. It's only when Chelsea. If it is Chelsea that spent 100 million pounds this January, there'll be talk. If this was Chelsea spending 100 million pounds this January, there will be so much talk. But Man City and Pep Guardiola, no one seems to be talking about it. They've spent 216 million euros. 216 million euros. In a nutshell, that is about 200 million euros. 200 million pounds. 216 million euros is just around 200 million pounds. Just on this January transfer window. The other 19 Premier League clubs, in total, all the 19 clubs spent 213 million euros. 19 clubs spent 213. City alone spent 216. Dear friend, it is what it is. So you see the fairness. And this tells you that, after all, City don't have any issue with the PSR rules. The 115 charges, if those charges were anything to go by, if those charges were coming, truly coming, going to be hitting City, I don't think they would have been spending this amount of money. But just look at it. It's Pep Guardiola and Man City in January. So you can just imagine the next summer. Well, dear friends, let me leave you guys. I'll be back with more exclusives later in the day. Shalom. Can I go for shout out? Do we have time? Dear friends, I'll be back later in the day in the afternoon. I will start with your shout out before any other news. Yes, I will start with your shout out before any other news in the afternoon. See you guys in the next one when you see me. Shalom and peace.